Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Sunday, October 15th, 2023. I'm Lance Brock. Welcome to this Sunday morning episode of Good Morning, Wrestling Fans. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everyone is having an amazing Sunday morning so far. Just a reminder, last night there's a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic now available, talking about last night's episode of AEW Saturday Collision. And as far as today goes, we do not have a big pay-per-view event tonight, but this Saturday is Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory on pay-per-view, which this time I do have the correct date for it. Like I talked about last week, I got my days a little mixed up, and I was actually thinking that it was this past weekend, but it is actually this Saturday coming up. Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory, Chicago Cicero Stadium. And I've been going back as of late, watching some of the previous Bound for Glory events, either on Impact Plus, or sometimes I just turn on Impact Wrestling's YouTube, or not YouTube channel, but Pluto, their channel on Pluto TV. Sometimes I just turn that on and watch whatever is on there if I have some extra time during the day. For example, this morning they were showing kind of like a marathon of TNA Epics that was on Spike TV at one time, hosted by Mick Foley. And this episode was the best of Monsters Ball, which they did show the Monsters Ball matches from Bound for Glory 2005, which was won by Rhino, also featuring Jeff Hardy, Raven, Abyss, Sabu in that match as well. And then Bound for Glory 2006, which was actually right here in Michigan, in Plymouth at the CompuWare Arena, which I think the arena is still could be there, but I think it has changed names. I don't think it's the CompuWare Arena anymore anyway. And this one we have Raven, Abyss, Brother Runt, who of course is Spike Dudley, and it was won by Samoa Joe, the Samoan Submission Machine. And the special guest enforcer for this Monsters Ball match was the legendary Jake the Snake Roberts, who unfortunately did not really do a good job. He was a little late counting at times, and there were also times where he wasn't really paying much attention to the match, and there were times you could tell that the guys in the match, especially Samoa Joe a few times, were getting a little upset with him just because he wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on in the match. And like I said, Samoa Joe did win. And that was also the Bound for Glory that year when Kurt Angle was the special enforcer for the NWA World Championship Sting versus Jeff Jarrett match. And when Sting won the NWA World title, which of course, we've already seen at the time, I think this was on the episode of Impact, the Go Home episode before Bound for Glory, the headbutt heard around the world, Samoa Joe headbutting Kurt Angle, busting him open. And then at BFG that year, they had the big fight during the show where they had to pull apart, where some of the security that broke up the fight, 2 360 Wrestling Fanatic guests, Eddie Venom and Amazing Nate Manson, were there. Of course, they have been on 360 Wrestling Fanatic quite a while ago. And speaking of 360 Wrestling Fanatic guests, Zach Gowen was in the Kevin Nash X Division Invitational Gauntlet Battle Royal for Bound for Glory. I think I got that right. I know that it was a really long name of the match, and also Kevin Nash joined Mike Tenay and Don West on commentary for the match. And speaking of Mike Tenay and Don West, they are going to be inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2003 this year. I know it's not a big class, only Tenay and West, and also Tracy Brooks going in this year. And that will be on the Countdown to Bound for Glory pre-show at 7:30, which you can watch on Fight TV, Impact Plus, Impact Wrestling's YouTube. And I think they might even show that on like some of the free channels that Impact Wrestling has on things like Pluto TV, Plex, things like that as well. So very easy to watch. And then the pay-per-view will be available on Fight TV and everywhere else internationally where you can watch Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. And that is all for this Sunday morning episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. I know today was kind of all over the place, just talking about Bound for Glory, and probably tomorrow morning, we'll preview tomorrow night's WWE Monday Night Raw. And like I said last night, probably will not have a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight, but we'll probably be back tomorrow night, I should say, to talk about tomorrow night's episode of Monday Night Raw. And once again, thank you for listening to the Good Morning Wrestling Fans today. Hope everyone has been having an amazing Sunday morning. And I will talk to you all tomorrow morning. And until then, have a great pro wrestling day.